I'm sitting around trying to keep the peace for everybody else, but everybody is causing hell in my life. It seems like no matter what you do, it's not gonna be enough. Hey y'all, it's Kiki. Welcome back to my channel. As y'all can tell by the title, child, we get into the meat and potatoes. Basically, this past week, which is the video before this one, I was experiencing a lot of like sad moments, and I was experiencing a lot of depression. I'm glad to say I'm on the other side now. I'm not sad no more. As a person who goes back and forth, I'm not gonna lie, like sometimes I'm up, sometimes I'm down. Sometimes everything is right and sometimes things are wrong. I think the important part for me personally, especially with this last little sense of depression that I felt, I think the important part is maybe like learning the lesson in it. I'm not gonna say that I blame myself for my depression, because I don't, but I also had to really look at what I was allowing to happen in my life and what I wasn't speaking up about. Especially as somebody who isn't really one to speak up a whole lot, isn't really one to really defend themselves. I kind of like would just let things just happen without expressing how I felt about it or trying to even fight to be heard or get my point across, because I just felt like there was no point of it, right? When I look up and I'm sitting up in my bed and I'm just scrolling through fucking TikTok for hours and hours, not wanting to get out the bed, I'm waiting to the very last minute to get dressed for work. And I sit back and I realize why I'm feeling like this is because I've allowed things that I don't want to happen to go on, like, you know, to continue to go on. When you are somebody who tries to keep the peace all the time, meaning you bite your tongue, you don't say what you're thinking, you kind of just agreeing with everything so it won't be a problem and it won't be an issue. You sit back and you realize, like, I'm sitting around trying to keep the peace for everybody else, but everybody is causing hell in my life. And so then you battle with, do I stop keeping the peace and do I start wreaking havoc because everybody else is wreaking havoc on my fucking life? Do I stop biting my tongue and start letting everybody have it? Do I stop lying and stop acting like I agree when in reality I don't agree? And I feel like the answer is yes. If you're somebody who has been keeping the peace, putting yourself on the back burner and putting everybody else before you, and you thinking like, well, damn, like, I'm gonna cause hell if I say something, you know, it's gonna be a problem, say something. These niggas they need problems. I'm honestly like talking to myself, but this is mainly for like people pleasers and ass kissers and people who honestly think that they're keeping the peace. You're not keeping the peace, babe. Even if somebody is wrong, you don't tell them when they're wrong. If somebody asks you how you feel, you don't give your honest opinion. You say something that you think they're going to agree with. You're not keeping the fucking peace. You're adding on to the problem that's already there. You're an enabler. That was my issue. My issue would be like, oh no, like, I'm scared to be honest. I'm scared to give my opinion, because if I give my opinion, nobody's going to agree with me and everybody's going to say that I'm the problem. It's time to be the problem. It's time for you to be the problem. It's time for you to be the bad guy. I don't know if you trying to keep up a certain image or look a certain way, but you don't look how you think you look, babe. I don't know, because when I was younger, much younger, right? I'm 25 now. This is teenage me and like early 20s me. I don't want to say nothing because I'm going to cause hell in this person's life, and then it's going to boil over to this person because they're going to go and tell this person, and then they're going to tell this person, and everybody's going to be pointing a finger at me, right? But who gives a f***? Stop keeping the peace for the people, because they're not keeping the peace for you. It seems like no matter what you do, it's not going to be enough. No matter how much ass you kiss, no matter how many yeses you give, no matter how much you go out of your way to do for these people, it's never going to be enough. So you spending all of your time wearing yourself down trying to please this person, and it's still not enough. You can literally give your last, literally $0 in the bank, not a shirt on your back, not a tooth in your mouth, and that still wouldn't be enough, babe. I'm telling you. It's time to put you first and say fuck them people. There was a time where I was dating somebody and he had me good and manipulated, child. He had me thinking that he wasn't gonna survive without me. You know, and one thing, when I was younger, it was easy for me to guilt trip, to be guilt tripped. It was very easy to manipulate me. But this is what I had to realize. As an adult, dealing with adults, we are adults. Get the fuck up and take care of yourself. You think that they need you, and you think that if they did not have you, that they will fall flat on their face. Maybe they're supposed to fall flat on their face. They can't fall because you always there to catch their ass. Let them go. Stop defending. Stop excusing. Stop enabling. Say what the fuck you say. Mean what you say, and go on about your business and stand on that. Stop kissing people's ass. I was so down and out because I felt like no matter what I do, it's always a problem. If this is you and you really look at this situation, especially if you thought of somebody or a certain relationship or a certain friend group when I'm talking about this, you may need to reevaluate. Stop letting them walk all over you. Stop letting them treat you any kind of way. Stop letting them pick and choose when they want to fool with you. I was really having to ask myself right now, what do you want? What do you want to do? What do you want to say? How do you feel? And when you figure out how you feel, can you put it into words? Can you write it down on paper? Okay? The reason why I was feeling so sad, the reason why I was feeling so depressed was solely because I was not voicing my opinion. I wasn't doing the things that I wanted to do. I wasn't saying the things that I wanted to say for the sake of other people's feelings and their peace and not causing hell in other people's lives, right? But then when I sat back and I realized they're literally causing hell in your life. You don't even want to eat. You can barely get out of bed. You want to lay up under the blanket all day and be in the dark all day. They are causing hell in your life. How the is that even fair to yourself? Like, all I gotta say is the right word and do that right and do that one thing to knock you out of your happiness and push you back into your sadness. Where's the fucking boundaries? I be trying to be peace and love and light, but sometimes you got to just let shit be said. You got to just say shit how it's supposed to be said. And if your feelings is hurt, your feelings is hurt. Period.
I said what I said.
You got to decide on who you gonna choose. You gonna choose you, or you gonna choose them? You can't really give a fuck about how you seen. Don't get me wrong. It's important that people know your character, right? But you gotta be okay with being a bad guy. You gotta be okay with deciding, you know what, I don't want to talk to her because she might go off on me. Good. I'm glad you know you can't play with me like that. I'm glad you know you cannot call me with no bullshit. I'm glad you know you cannot come around me with the bare minimum. I'm glad you know that. I am the only permanent thing in my life. I'm doing myself a disservice by making sure everybody else is okay and then making sure I'm okay last. I barely got enough energy to even pour into myself because I done spent all this time pouring into everybody else.
But you want to come with your cup full, you know? My cup runneth over. Yeah. What comes out of the cup is for y'all. What's in the cup is mine.
And for some people, this is common sense. For some people, they like, bitch, duh, you supposed to put yourself first. But for a lot of us who grew up differently, it's not so much common sense. Because some of us were taught that if we put ourselves first, we are very selfish and we are very inconsiderate. And that's not the way to be. Especially if you grew up in a religious household. It's a sin to be selfish. You must look out for everybody else. You must give to everybody else because God is not going to bless you. The Lord is not going to bless you. Right? It's different for everybody else. And this is who I'm speaking to, the people who came up differently. If it's common sense for you, good for you, Samantha. But I'm talking to Jessica who need help. That people pleasing it's got to stop. Overextending yourself got to stop. Because this is what happens. You literally just picture yourself, right? A cup full of energy. You spent the past few years pouring into that cup. Then you run into these people, and now you are literally pouring out of that cup. You done tilted that cup over so you can pour into everybody else's cup. What the fuck you think is gonna happen? The cup is gonna be empty. That's you. You have no more energy left. So of course you want to sit around and lay around all day. You have no energy to do nothing else because you spent it. You wasted it on everybody else. It's okay to be Because don't get me wrong, I love being a caring person. I love being of service. I love to help people. But you can't help anybody if you don't help yourself first. Now it's like these people have drained you, and now you've spent these days, these weeks, these months, sometimes years, trying to get that energy back. When you really sink low, when you really hit that darkness and that sadness, that feeling ain't nothing you want to feel again. And as hard as it is, when you really sit around and think, it's like, I'd be damned if I let somebody else get me to this point ever again in life. I will be damned if I let your words snap me back into this darkness. I'll be damned if I let your actions push me back into this sunkenness. You gotta draw your energy back, you gotta call your power back, and you gotta take control. I'll be trying to hold back because I curse a lot. I'll be trying not to curse, but I feel like it's the icing on top. So I said it to say, fuck them people. You are the one. You are the one. I don't know if y'all listened to Never Call Me by Janae Aiko, but at the end, Corrupt is at the end, and he's giving her like a pep talk. He left it on her voicemail or something, and he literally says at the end, fuck everybody else. You are the one. All these other people are the 2 and the 3. You are the one. That's how you have to come behind yourself. Nobody is gonna come hard for you the way you come for yourself. Nobody is going to defend you the way you defend yourself. Nobody's gonna stand up for you the way you stand up for yourself. You may think that. Nobody's gonna put you that high up other than you. They might tell you that. But when push come to shove, nobody got your back like you got your back. So, for you to sit around and let people do you any kind of way without backing them up off of you, that's a no-go. If you are a people pleaser, if you have been the ass kisser, and it's okay, you ain't gotta comment it down below. You can just say it to yourself. You ain't gotta admit it out loud. I'll admit it for you. I don't care who is disappointed. I don't care who is upset. I don't care who is angry. I don't care how you feel, babe. I care about how I feel first. That's what I learned in this past depressive episode that I had. I had to really sit down and talk to myself. I had to pray. I had to talk to my therapist. I had to talk to myself. I had to talk to God. And I had to realize that I'm the one and everybody else is the 2. Period. That's all for this video. I said a handful, and I didn't have Al Note present. I kind of just started ranting. So if it's all over the place, forgive me. But I just like to rant. Don't forget to comment down below. Let me know what you think. And I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.